you should work black audiences, and I'll tell you why. Not because they understand being the underdog,
right?
Literally,
and being knocked down.
They understand being knocked down. They understand being accused and misunderstood.
Well, you know, it's so interesting. I wasn't going to say this, but the people that have embraced me the most is the African American community, and I think one of the major reasons is because they understand intrinsically that another person's success won't take away from their own. So there's not this kind of I felt jealousy.
What they know more than anything else, Jeremy, is what it's like to be discounted. They know what it's like to be treated like a nigga. They do. They do.
Yeah, that's how we. I mean, we met quite the same way, and I felt it's funny hearing DL say the same thing. Like we met at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach doing a show together, and it was the same thing. It was like, oh, I didn't really know that you did comedy like that. So let me sit down and check this dude out. And when you got up there, you addressed everything that I thought in my back of my mind. You got to address this. We're gonna do this. And you knocked all of them down, was comfortable with it on stage, and got off and was like, and immediately went to the back and became a student again. Yeah. And that was the big part. You sat down with your group and it was like, what can I do? How was this work? Did this do that? And I was like, wow, that reminded me of 20 years ago.
Nobody gets that.
No.
When I started, nobody would let us play anywhere. Like we couldn't play anywhere. Wow. We didn't.
But that's how you get better.
That is how you get better. You get better.
So they didn't realize that they were making you better.
And that's what I'm saying. You may not realize the gift that because people, whether it's you've done so many things that so many people dig you for, that you have a calling card. And I think you have an interest. You got an invitation to the party, right? And I don't want to see you doubt that and to squander, because I think I remember when Louis got in trouble. Black audiences, because not that we are not inclined to not believe a story, or not because, but we're inclined to go, if this dude got balls enough to get up on stage,
right? Then you respect
and do
him,
that.
First of all.
Oh man, I'm gonna hear it.
Right,
I'm gonna hear it.
But what's also interesting is, from my experience, the most truthful audience is the African American audience, because they're going to give it to you straight.
Yes, they are.
You're either on your game or you're not.
Yeah.
Right.
And they can see and sense.
And they're gonna let you know
if you're authentic.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've had dudes. It's so funny because I grew up in a situation where I was the only white boy who played on the football team, and I tell this thing on stage that my jersey number said linebacker and my body said kicker, so it was confusing. It was an interesting duality. No, but so my experience was our homecoming king was black.
Right.
Everyone that was charismatic or interesting or whatever. So I grew up the minority, and I'm also Jewish, growing up in a theater family. Right. So I have a weird perspective on life, which I wouldn't trade for anything, because it's been amazing. Right. But when people come up to me and show me, first of all, I learned about racism. Because they said, look, when you guys go out there on that field, you're going to hear the N-word. Yeah. And so I didn't know what was happening. Right. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Right. And I knew that our All-American wide receiver was so good at what he did, he intimidated the wealthy community so much they would draw pictures of him. And my impression was, he's working on such a high level that he's intimidating these people. Right. So it was introduced to me on this in a whole new way. Right. Do you know what I mean? Right. So I understand intrinsically, the people that I grew up with, this is the room right here. Right.